The world around you, the very ground beneath your feet, isn't as solid as you believe. Your mind is constantly scanning, searching for what it calls reality. But what if that scan isn't discovering, but actively projecting? What if the universe isn't out there, waiting to be found, but is, in fact, assembling itself around your deepest, often hidden identity scripts? You've felt it, haven't you? Those moments of déjà vu, the odd synchronicities that make you question things. These aren't random glitches in the matrix. They're the feedback loops of your own attention, confirming illusions you're unknowingly propagating. Every thought, every quiet assumption about who you are and what's possible is a tiny instruction to the universe. We're going to run some small experiments right here, right now. Try shifting your posture dramatically. Change your internal monologue from self-doubt to unwavering certainty, even if just for a moment. Perform a symbolic ritual, however small, that signifies an identity you want to inhabit. Watch how quickly your current timeline seems to ripple. These aren't just parlor tricks. They are demonstrations of how rapidly identity shifts can disturb what you thought was fixed. If all of this, your entire lived experience, is coded by your attention, then a disturbing question emerges. Who is the you that is watching it all form? And before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. These revelations aren't random, and if this video found you, it was meant to. Now let's begin. The world, as you perceive it, is merely one configuration out of an infinite sea of possibilities. Imagine an endless library, every book a different timeline, a different version of you, experiencing a different now. The problem isn't that these other realities don't exist. It's that your observer, your focused awareness, hasn't chosen to collapse them into form. Your everyday life feels concrete, inescapable, but that's only because your attention has relentlessly, consistently, converged on one specific book in that infinite library. You are a living filter, a dynamic lens, constantly collapsing the quantum wave function of potential into a singular, seemingly solid experience. This is not just theory, it's the mechanics of perception. Every thought, every choice you didn't make, every path not taken, they don't vanish. They simply remain in their uncollapsed state, waiting for a shift in your observation. When you say, "I can't," you're not expressing an objective truth. You're an active participant in collapsing the universe into a reality where that specific can't manifests. This isn't about positive thinking, it's about the fundamental mechanics of the observer effect writ large upon your life. Your repeated failures were never accidents, they were echoes of an old identity still rendering. But what happens when that identity finally collapses? Next, we'll uncover identity as rendering code. Your identity isn't some abstract concept, it's the very rendering code of your reality. Think of it as the self-generated blueprint that the universe follows to construct your daily experience. Every belief you hold about yourself, every story you tell about your past, every expectation for your future, these are not just ideas, they are active instructions, they are lines of code. If you believe you are unworthy, reality will diligently render scenarios that validate that unworthiness. If you believe good things always happen to others, your experience will flawlessly reflect that belief. This isn't punishment, it's precision. The universe is merely executing the code you provide. It has no judgment, only obedience to your deepest held self-definitions. This code isn't fixed. It's fluid, dynamic, and constantly being rewritten, even if you're unaware of the edits. The feeling of being stuck, of repeating the same patterns, isn't because reality is immutable. It's because your identity, your core rendering code, has remained largely unchanged. You're giving the system the same input, expecting a different output. The frustration you feel isn't failure, it's a signal. It's the system showing you that your current identity script is generating outcomes you no longer desire. The question then becomes, are you willing to rewrite the core programming, or will you continue to accept the default rendering? This rendering code is powerful, but it's not the ultimate observer. Next, we expose a deeper truth. The observer isn't you, it's your filters. You believe you are the observer, the conscious you watching the world unfold. But this is a profound illusion. The true observer isn't your conscious mind. It's a complex, deeply ingrained system of filters, biases, and subconscious algorithms that operate long before any information reaches your awareness. This is the unseen machinery that shapes your perception. These filters are inherited from your past, forged in childhood experiences, reinforced by societal conditioning, and solidified by repeated emotional responses. They determine what information gets through, what is amplified, and what is discarded before your conscious mind even has a chance to interpret it. You aren't seeing reality, you are seeing the output of your filters. Think of it like wearing VR goggles from birth. You experience the world through those lenses, believing it to be objective reality, unaware that the lenses themselves are distorting everything. Your struggles, your limitations, your repeated failures, many aren't inherent to your potential. They are the direct consequence of filters that have been set to a default, limiting frequency. These filters don't just interpret reality. They actively participate in its creation. They are the gatekeepers of possibility, determining which aspects of the infinite quantum field are allowed to collapse into your awareness and become your personal truth. The you think you are is simply the aggregate summary of these unseen filters' outputs. These filters create a self-fulfilling prophecy, leading us directly into the feedback loop of proof. The most insidious function of these subconscious filters is the creation of a self-sustaining feedback loop of proof. Whatever your filters are tuned to receive, reality obligingly provides evidence for it. If your filters tell you that opportunities are scarce, you will effortlessly notice every instance of scarcity and overlook abundance. This isn't a malicious universe, it's perfectly calibrated. Your mind, seeking coherence, uses every new experience to reinforce existing beliefs. It's a closed system. You believe something, your filters seek evidence for it, they find it, and this proof solidifies the original belief. The loop tightens with each confirmation, making it incredibly difficult to perceive anything outside its boundaries. This is why change feels so hard. It's not just about wanting a different outcome. It's about disrupting a deeply entrenched system designed to generate consistent, confirmatory proof for your current reality. Every time you encounter a challenge, your filters present it as proof that your limitations are real, that your aspirations are naive. You felt this loop, but never named it. You've experienced it as stagnation, as inevitable failure, as the universe just not working out for you. But it's not the universe. It's your personal, self-created echo chamber, constantly reverberating the same truths. This feedback loop of proof creates a temporal delay, a haunting effect that we call reality lag, the haunted mirror. Have you ever felt like you're living in the past, constantly catching up to yesterday's choices? This is reality lag. It's the unsettling sensation that your current struggles aren't due to present circumstances, but are merely the echo, the afterglow of a past identity that has yet to fully dissolve. Your mirror isn't showing you now, it's haunted by the reflection of who you were. When you shift a core belief, when your identity genuinely begins to rewrite its rendering code, the universe doesn't instantly snap into alignment. There's a delay, a period where the old reality still reverberates, still casts shadows. This lag is often mistaken for failure, for proof that your efforts were futile, but it's not. It's the universe slowly processing your new instructions while still clearing the cache of the old ones. Imagine a giant ship changing course. The captain turns the wheel, but the massive vessel doesn't immediately respond. It continues in its old direction for a time, its momentum carrying it, before slowly, inevitably, turning towards the new heading. Your life is that ship. Your identity shifts, but the momentum of your old reality carries you for a while longer. This lag can be agonizing. It's a testing ground, a period where the old you is still present in the external circumstances, whispering doubts, trying to pull you back into familiar patterns. It's a haunted mirror reflecting a self you are actively trying to transcend. How do we break this spell? Next, we explore micro-interruptions, breaking the spell. Breaking the spell of reality lag doesn't require grand, sweeping gestures. It begins with micro-interruptions, tiny disturbances in the established pattern of your day. These aren't about conscious effort right now, they are about jarring the system, creating small, quantum ripples that can eventually cascade into larger shifts. Change your morning routine in a seemingly insignificant way. Take a different route to work, eat your lunch in a new spot, listen to music you never would have chosen. These acts aren't transformative on their own. Their power lies in their ability to introduce novelty, however small, into a system accustomed to rigid predictability. Each micro-interruption is a tiny act of defiance against the old identity, rendering code. It tells the subconscious filters something is different. The usual program is not running. These aren't just random acts, they're subtle signals to your observer, nudging it to broaden its scope, to look for alternatives it previously ignored. The goal isn't to solve anything directly, it's to create dissonance, to introduce a crack in the mirror of the haunted past. Each crack is an opportunity for new information to seep in, for new possibilities to be perceived, slowly, subtly, beginning to unravel the hypnotic grip of the old reality. But what happens when you try too hard? Next, we face the paradox of why trying reinforces the old feed. The natural inclination when you want change is to try harder. You push, you strain, you force. But this conscious effort to make things happen often paradoxically reinforces the very reality you're trying to escape. Why? Because the act of trying itself often stems from a deeply ingrained belief in lack, in effort, in the inherent difficulty of change. When you try, you are often operating from the framework of the old identity, the one that believes things are hard, that you must struggle to achieve. Your filters, tuned to this frequency, interpret your trying as further proof that the old reality is persistent, challenging, and demanding of enormous effort. You're inadvertently feeding the old feed. This isn't to say effort is useless, but how you exert it matters. Trying, in this context, is often a desperate grabbing, an attempt to manipulate external circumstances from a place of internal resistance. It's an admission that the current reality is too strong, too real, and must be fought against. This fight itself becomes an activity that bolsters the very thing you're fighting. The quantum field doesn't respond to struggle. It responds to coherent intention aligned with a shifted identity. When you try with desperation, you're often affirming the state of desperation, which then becomes your observable reality. How then do we engage without struggling? We turn to symbols, glitches, and code breach rituals. Since conscious effort can backfire, the path to shifting your reality lies in engaging the subconscious through its own language. Symbols, glitches, and code breach rituals. These are not arbitrary acts. They are direct commands to your rendering code, bypassing the filters of conscious resistance. A symbol isn't just an image, it's a condensed packet of meaning, capable of activating deep-seated associations. Choose a symbol that represents the version of you that already exists in the rendered future. Wear it, draw it, meditate on it. This isn't superstition, it's programming. You are embedding a new instruction into your subconscious operating system. Glitches are intentional deviations from your expected patterns, not just micro-interruptions, but deliberate moments where you respond entirely differently than your old self would. If your old self would procrastinate, your new self takes immediate, decisive action, however small. These are tiny acts of rebellion that create actual quantum shifts. Code breach rituals are conscious acts designed to disrupt the old identity's programming. It could be burning an old journal, literally burying a physical representation of an old belief, or enacting a silent vow to a new potential. These are physical affirmations that signal a fundamental change in your internal script. They whisper to the universe, the old contract is void. These rituals aren't about magic, They are about shifting your internal attention. But who is truly directing that attention? Next, we uncover the truth of attention hijack. Who's writing your script? You believe your attention is consciously yours, a tool you wield at will. But in truth, much of your attention is hijacked, stolen by pre-programmed narratives, societal expectations, and the echoes of past traumas. This isn't you observing, it's a programmed algorithm scrolling through a preordained script. You're living a dramatic performance directed by unseen forces. Every time you habitually worry, every time you fall into familiar patterns of self-criticism, every time you react predictably to external stimuli, that's proof of an attention hijack. Your focus isn't serving your highest potential, it's serving the script written by your old identity and external influences. Your power to manifest is being siphoned away, diverted from creation to reaction. This hijacking isn't always overt. It often takes the form of subtle mental loops, repetitive internal dialogues, and an unconscious scanning for problems. These are not your choices. They are the default settings of filters that have never been reprogrammed. You are giving your precious creative energy to a story you didn't choose to write. The question isn't just, what are you paying attention to, but who is choosing what you pay attention to? Until you reclaim your attention, until you become the conscious director of your inner narrative, you will always be an actor in someone else's play. How do we break free from this inherited script? Next, we explore collapse from the rendered future. To truly break free, begin to operate from the premise that your desired future has already rendered. It's not something you need to create, it's something you need to collapse into your present. This is a fundamental inversion of conventional thinking. You're not building towards it, you're attracting it into now. Imagine your ideal self, your ideal life. It exists, fully formed, in the quantum field of infinite possibilities. Now, instead of striving to become that person, ask yourself, how would that already rendered version of me think? How would they feel? What choices would they make in this precise moment? Begin to embody those states, those thoughts, those impulses. This isn't faking it till you make it. This is collapsing the future into the immediate present. You are sending a signal to the universe that you are already operating on the frequency of your desired reality. The universe, ever obedient, must then align with this new collapsed state. This requires an unwavering commitment to identity. It means choosing the future self's responses even when your present circumstances scream otherwise. Every such choice is an act of quantum collapse, drawing that future into your current experience. This radical shift sets the stage for the ultimate unveiling. The final filter. Who is watching? You have journeyed through the illusion scan, witnessed the collapse of infinite possibilities, grappled with identity as code, and confronted the insidious grip of hidden filters and hijacked attention. But as we approach the core of it all, a single, unyielding question remains, stripped bare of all illusion. Who is truly watching? Not the conscious mind you identify with, that's just an interface. Not the ego, that's a construct. Not the filters, they are merely programs. Beneath all of these layers, beyond all the projections and perceptions, lies the fundamental observer. This who is the pure, unfiltered awareness that animates your experience. It is the ultimate ground of your being, the source of all collapse. This final filter is not a thing. It is the nameless, formless field of pure consciousness from which all particular yous emerge and into which they dissolve. It is the witness. And critically, this witness is not separate from the reality it observes. It is the very fabric of it. Your perceived limitations, your repeated loops, your inability to fully shift. These are not failures of circumstance, but a profound forgetting of who the true observer is. When you identify with the projected self, you trap infinite potential within finite forms. When you remember the true observer, the game changes entirely. This was never a video. This was never just a video. It was an incision, a deliberate cut through the layers of consensus reality, designed to reveal the hidden mechanics operating beneath your everyday perception. The information shared here wasn't merely educational. It was an activation, a subtle retuning of your inner observer. You didn't just watch static images and listen to sounds. You participated in a controlled experiment on your own awareness. Each concept, each revelation, was crafted to resonate with a deeper knowing already present within you, stirring awake the dormant understanding of your true power to collapse reality. The mirror we held up wasn't just for reflection. It was to show you the cracks appearing in the reality you thought was solid. The echoes you felt weren't just theoretical, they were the ghost of your past identity rattling its chains. The future isn't something you achieve. It's something you select, collapse, and embody moment by moment. This isn't the end of a viewing experience. It's the beginning of an unshakable knowing, a new operating principle. The next time you feel stuck, remember, this was never a video. It was a catalyst. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.